sorry. I'm just making fun of Kimberly right now because she be trying to sound all perfect when she talking. Yeah.
Oh, so now it's perfect. What was it before?
Jesus be an anchor to my tongue. The right
Amen. I'm not gonna say what I want to say. All right. So our topic today is.
Shacking up. Today we are talking about shacking. Shacking. You know, where did the word shacking come from?
I don't know.
Sounds like some 1945 country word. Y'all shacking.
It does sound kind of country.
Y'all shacking. Like, you're not even supposed to finish a word. Y'all shacking. Like, I don't know. It just don't sound right to me. But yeah, what is shacking up? So we can explain to those viewers who haven't lived the shacking life.
I love doing this, y'all. I just want to let y'all know we love table talk. This gives us life. It gives me life. I love doing.
What is that phrase supposed to mean? Gee, let's have a table talk about that.
It just makes me happy.
I'm gonna do a table talk of all these words. Yes, and it's just giving me life. Cause I am so lost, man. I'm getting old. Cause I'm just lost. I just agree and nod my head nowadays. Okay, back to shacking.
Yeah, it makes me happy to do table talk. But anyway, shacking up is basically when two people of whatever sex, male and female, female and female, male and male, decide that they want to live together. They want to cohabitate in the same domain for an extended period of time.
Hold on, I think we gotta clarify that.
For the purpose of a relationship.
Oh, okay, there we go.
See? I don't know.
Forgive me, honey boo boo child.
You're forgiven. Because Jesus forgave me, so who would I be?
So you're
Not
saying
forgive
Jesus now. You all high and mighty, better than me now. It's okay. Shacking.
So yeah, that's the definition of shacking. I hope y'all caught all that because Kris did interrupt me. I'll say it again. Two people, male and female, female and female, male and male, deciding to cohabitate. That means habitate to live, live with each other, in the same domain, so in the same place, for an extended period of time, for the purpose of a relationship, an exclusive relationship. So, not like an auntie and cousin,
Right.
you know, but to be together intimately.
Relation, yeah. There we go, intimately. Right. So what's the question with shacking?
So the big umbrella is it wrong? As a Christian and not as a Christian, like what's the beef about it? Like why is it bad? You know, why is it not beneficial?
Right.
Can you fall into sin?
Right.
What's the hoopla about cohabitating?
It's interesting. What you think? Should I go? You want to go?
You take it off for us first.
Shacking. But I don't agree with it when it comes to people being in a relationship, because I believe it rushes things. I think our generation is a microwave generation. We want everything so fast. But the one thing you can't rush is love.
Aww.
You can't. Y'all know, right?
That was such a moving moment.
No, you can't rush love. And I'm a firm believer in not rushing love. And I think you can't rush. I think when you love somebody, you learn somebody. You know, we learn about Jesus Christ because we love him so much. We diligently seek him. And we love him. God is love, you know, because of the things he has done for self-sacrificial agape. So when it comes down to love, I think that's something you want to take the time to nurture. And it's like putting something in a crock pot. You want to just let it simmer and let it continue to bake and become this very beautiful thing. And when you cohabitate, you rush everything. You learning somebody all at once. You learning how they handle their financials, you're learning how they sleep, you're learning how they, you're learning all their flaws, and there's no escape. You can't run, you can't disappear, you can't like wean yourself on them. You can't like, I think sometimes you gotta, I believe when it comes to love, you gotta, and no, when it comes to learning people, you gotta learn people in doses. So you're able to know, can I deal with this, can I deal with that, can I deal with that? But when you put yourself in a covenant, like, having an apartment together, now it's money involved. And when you angry at somebody, yeah, you can go to the other room, but you have to deal with that situation. Yeah, you can leave and go to your friend's house, but that just makes it worse, you know. And then you got to come back, and the spirit of that house is thrown off you, you know. And with you seeking wise counsel, you can do that. But it just makes things a lot harder to do. Plus temptation. I'm sorry, you stand with somebody and you're living with spending the night. I really don't have no problem with spending the night in doses. Also, I don't have no problem with spending the night with how you handle spending the night. That'd be a whole nother topic. But when you living together, you're ultimately going to do and see things because you're there, whether accident or not. Even if you start off and you like, well, I'm gonna get dressed in the room, you're gonna step out. Eventually, you're gonna get comfortable, and I believe it can lead to a lot of things that you may not want to. And outside of sex, which everybody argues about, let's take that out. It's just better to learn the person you want to be with slowly than rushing. We want longevity. We don't want 6 months and out or a year now. So I just don't agree with it based on so many things can be done if you don't do it. I think that the pros and the cons, the cons outweigh the pros. So that's just my spiel. The bad of staying with somebody outweighs the good of staying with somebody in a relationship with. So what you think, Carter?
Statistically speaking, when you get with someone and you decide to cohabitate with them, the chances of you all being together longer decreases. I think by like 50%. But so that's just a misfortune already. And so I just think if you take just that, you're gonna have to dissect it. Well, why? Why does that make the chances of you being with someone decrease for a long-term mindset? And I think it has to do with the lack of covenant. Honestly, just coming back to like what God created. It's almost like you have an agreement, you have covenant. An agreement is like, we're gonna do this, but things could change, things could be different. Covenant is like, to death do us part, for better or worse, through thickness and thin. Like, covenant is different than an agreement. An agreement can be amended, an agreement can change. This lease is up. All right, so where you gonna stay next year? You know what I'm saying? But a covenant is like, this lease is up, where we gonna stay at next year? So, yeah, that's my spill on it. For me personally, I would not do it because I know myself.
Amen. Amen. Let's be real.
And I don't like to wear clothing, and so yeah, that just wouldn't be beneficial for me to be in the house with somebody and
you can't be yourself. Yeah, I feel you.
Something gonna go down. Something just gonna go down. We're just gonna keep it real. So yeah,
I had another. I really wish I had remembered that, but I just think when it comes to two people staying together, I think it devalues marriage. I think it devalues marriage so much because it's one of those things that, why do I have to marry you when I'm getting everything I would get if I was married? And to me, that takes away from the covenant of saying, God, this is what we're going to do together, because now you're saying, I don't need God, I'll do this myself because it's been working. So, and then a lot of times, I'm not going to say this for all men, a lot of times, or for women thrive off titles. A lot of women thrive off titles. And it's going to sound crazy. I had an old OG long time ago, player tell me, if you ever want to get around on a bunch of females, never give them a title. And I never understood what that meant. Then he explained it. He said, because if you never give them a title, they stay seeking for one. And they can never get mad if you with another woman because you never gave her a title that she was the woman. And it made sense. And it's the same way when it comes to shacking up. It's like you giving that person the ultimate title that we are married, but I'm not going to give you the paper. So that woman ultimately is going to feel, she's going to do what incents the title you have given her. And then you giving her by the covenant of staying together, your wife. Because that's what married people do. We play marriage. Now we're playing marriage. So you're going to end up hurting her emotions when she does ask when we get married. Because as a man, why? We doing everything I got to do now. So it takes away from marriage so much. And then it's like, it takes away from the imagination of what can be done in marriage because we have been playing married for so long. And I think relationships are meant for the interview process. I get to see your flaws, find your flaws, and see if I can deal with what I don't like about you for the rest of my life. If I'm with you and we shacking up, it's like I'm gonna deal with you because now I need somewhere to stay. And I just feel it's a difference between learning somebody and dealing with somebody. And that's what you end up doing when you're shacking up. You may love them, you may care for them, and it may work out. I'm not saying people haven't done it and it worked out, but like I said, I'm sure if we pull up statistics, it's more nay than yay. Yeah. I mean, let's just say that as a whole, it's a 50% divorce rate, period. And let's just even add that with the people that are, shacking up or doing other things to make their marriage not work. But that's here nor there. I just believe, Shaq, I just believe if you want to do something right, why can't you wait? If you're not going anywhere, why rush? I always say, I want to get to the point in my marriage where my woman, at the end of the day, when we saying our vows, when we're in front of that pastor, when we in front of God, I work for it. It wasn't given to me. It wasn't rushed. It was ultimately worked for. I didn't shack up with you and I had to deal with you. I stayed my distance from you and I slowly learned you. Now I know how to deal with you based on from what we talked about, not a bunch of trials and tribulations and arguments and fights that I learned from. Okay, I see she don't like that. Oh, let me take my time. Can I deal with that? And then also I'm in front of God and I'm in front of you more than anything. I'm in front of you and God. I'm like, God, you see I did everything right. And you can look at me and say, this man actually worked for me. He did everything he needed to do to make sure that this marriage lasted. He didn't just do something to make me happy. He did what he knew God would want us to do. And I believe any man that's willing to go the long route will do anything it takes to make sure that marriage stay working. So that's why I just really don't agree with checking up, because it forces the rush spirit, and it's gonna make the relationship have a rush spirit. We gotta do this, we gotta do that, and I don't want nothing to be rushed. I don't want to ever question why I married you only because the such and such was good, or because we stayed together and it was about that time. So that's just my spiel.
That's good. And to kind of kill the elephant in the room, because I know it's a lot of like intricacies. Everything isn't black and white. So you got some people that's like, well, we got kids. It's more convenient for us to live together. We're not necessarily together anymore, but it's convenient for us. Or some people that's like, we don't have to have sex, but we just, both of us aren't really financially stable, so it'll just be better. Like, it's a lot of intricacies involved in it, and I think that's where you just have to use wisdom. Like, you can't, everything isn't spelled out for us in the Bible. Everything isn't. God doesn't just give us every single answer to every single question, just like a teacher. Some stuff you got to flip through, and you got to use context clues to figure out how to go about handling that situation. So I think this is one of those situations. It's a gray area. It's not saying that if you cohabitate, you're in sin.
Yeah,
let's just clear that up now, because a lot of people are like, is this sin? That's not sin.
We're not telling you.
But when you use wisdom behind it, and like we mentioned this earlier with some people that we were talking about table talk with, if it's going to lead to sin, then as the old people would say, it would behoove you to stay away from it,
right.
If I know that my struggle is alcohol, why am I going to the bar? It just logically doesn't make sense. So if I know that I don't wear clothing at home, it would make no sense for me to live with my boyfriend, period.
Yeah, that'd be
don't make sense.
First off, if she was living with a boyfriend, I probably would beat him up and then rebuke her a million times. I'm just saying, because as my sister, as my best friend, I would look at you like, really? Well, like, why would you put yourself in this situation and what's your weakness? You do certain things that's going to make this person come on, so you're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't care what people say. I don't care what nobody say. And even, I know I'm going to get bashed for making this statement. All of us get into our moods where we want to have sex. Yeah. Whether you're a virgin or not. For a virgin, you may be tempted by just the thought of how it feels. And for some of us who've already did it and now are secondary virgins, you have muscle memory towards it. And I just believe that you're going to make mistakes. You're going to kiss too long. You're going to hug too long. You're going to touch stuff you ain't supposed to. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. People try to act like you're not gonna fall short in some way. You're not gonna do something more than you're supposed to. But the problem is when you stand with somebody and you constantly living, it's just like playing with fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I stay with my girl and we kiss and I bag out, like, nah, we going too far. I can always go home, cool down, I'm fine. But if we stand together, it's like, where am I gonna go?
Go in that shower.
Go in the shower, then I'm gonna go in the shower and go back in the room and be heated right back again. Because I'm telling you, that cold shower stuff don't work. It don't fully work.
Let's go ahead and just knock that down.
It don't work. It may make you feel, but if you got that same temptation still in the same room,